No F-bombs should be dropped here today. I don't actually have permission to use the piece that I found, so I'm just going to have to tell you what happened. There is a certain soldier who went on an operation where they were told they were not allowed to have their weapons when they were not on watch. I don't know who made this decision. I don't know how they made this decision. This was also a very dangerous environment. All right? There are people in this environment who are trying to kill them. And very aggressively. There was at least one shooting that I've heard about. Okay. Now, this is a war zone. Okay, I get it. Things happen, but you don't tell soldiers that they can't have their guns in a war zone. Oh, well, this is a rear area. There's not that rear. But okay. All right, fine. Whatever. So, some of the soldiers had their own personal weapons in their barracks. And, I mean, it is what it is. All right? It is a high-threat environment. Somebody ratted them out, and Army investigations came down, ATF came down. I'm hearing some other stories that, yeah, FBI actually did get involved, even though my source is saying, no, that didn't happen, but whatever. Okay. Maybe she just never met them. I don't know. I don't know really what happened. Whatever. All right. This soldier, and when I say soldier, I mean Army. All right, not Marine or member of the military. I mean soldier specifically. Because of this investigation is getting out. And you know what? I don't blame her. They put all of these soldiers into a high threat environment. An absolute established, yes, there really is a threat here environment. And then told them, oh yeah, by the way, you can't have your weapons when you're off watch because it's a rear area. No! It's not that rear. Alright? Whatever. Okay, fine. Whatever. Move on. Right? And they're being punished for having their personal weapons. Now, I know why this rule exists. I do. I understand why this rule exists. But you put them in this environment, in this situation, and then left them defenseless. And they did what they had to do to make sure that they stayed defended. And now you want to bust them for it? No, fuck you. All right. They should have not been allowed to be in that environment without their M16s at their side at all times. All right, this is an actual war zone. All right, yes, it's a secondary sector. All right, to compare it to World War II. The Italian-French border region. All right, which is where basically none of the fighting ever occurred. It was all north of, 90% of it was north of that. All right, like I said, I get that it was this secondary region. All right. Oh yeah, by the way, earlier this week there was yet another shooting at a U.S. Army base, all right, because this is an actual rear area. Nobody's allowed to have their guns. This is a Clinton-era rule that's, well, we're so worried about soldiers going on mass shootings that nobody can have their guns, and then one guy got a gun in. All right? I'm telling you straight up, I've gotten guns into secured buildings. It's not actually that hard. All you have to do is go in a few times, realize, hey, there's this, there's that, there's something else that isn't properly protected, and go in right through there. I could even do a whole lot better than that. All right, I can tell you about how I got a gun into a California State building with highway patrol all over that building. All right, nobody ever knew. To this day, nobody knows. All right, they're all totally oblivious. And I got fired from that building, so they searched my locker and removed everything, and then they kept whatever they felt like keeping. Nobody ever found the gun. How? How did you not find that gun? I don't know. All right. There's this military base, this army base, where there was a mass shooting just, I think it was Wednesday. It might have been Tuesday. I'm not exactly sure off the top of my head. And I wasn't even going to talk about it, except this one soldier who's now talking about she's getting out of the army after 15. After 15 years? 12. Yeah. Well, she said she's been in for 15, whatever. Anyway. This enlistment is the end of it. I didn't actually ask the specifics, so maybe I should have. You're right. Okay, fine. I did that. It's on me. This enlistment is it. She's out. She's done. She was set up to be shot by a sniper. That was the real thing about this environment is fucking snipers everywhere. And they're paid based on not only how many Americans or British or whatever they shoot, but they're paid better by rank. You take out a colonel, you get a bonus. You take out a lower ranking officer, your bonus is going to be lower respectively. Take out a senior enlisted, you might get pretty much, that mid officer bonus. Take out a low ranking enlisted like this lady is, all right, you might not get a bonus. They then did what they felt they had to do to keep themselves safe, and you're punishing them for it. Meanwhile, you're also investigating a mass shooting in an actual rear area at the same time. Make it make sense. Make this make sense. Now, here's a thought, all right? These snipers aren't going to try shit if they know that the soldiers are going to shoot back. They will try, all right? They will try. Some of them are going to succeed. Most of them are going to fail. They're going to get lit up like the 4th of July. That army base where the shooting happened, if all the soldiers had their sidearms at bare minimum with them, whoever did the shooting isn't even going to bother trying because he knows everybody around him is going to shoot back. He might get one. He might even get two. The third one is already filling him full of holes. The second one is at least trying to fill him full of holes. And the fourth and fifth one, they're standing there. I haven't even had the gun pointed at them yet, and they're already filling him full of holes. Right? There's going to be more lead in that body than a fucking mine. It's not even going to work. They're not even going to try. All right. But what the hell? Make this make sense. I can't say that hard enough, because you can't make it make sense no matter how you try. And yet we keep proving ourselves insane. Insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again with an expectation of a different result. And we keep using the same thing, thinking we're going to get a different result. No! You're going to get the same result over and over again. And people are going to die. And you know what? In the world I was brought up in, if you let somebody die, or if you set them up to die, that's second-degree murder. You knew it was going to happen, you did nothing to stop it. Alright. I'm not really done, but I'm going to drop it at this point. Because I can't berate people hard enough over the internet. I wish I could go to a Moms Demand rally. Then I could berate them. Right? Because they're all fucking murderers. Every last one of them is a murderer. David Hogg is a murderer. He saw the murder and thought, hey, this, you know, I just want this to happen more. Because I get a lot of money out of it. That also is a part of second-degree murder, letting it happen, because you had something to gain. But at any rate, I'm going to drop it now. I'm not done with this, but Papa Carrie needs me to get back to work, and so it is what it is. Keep calm, mandatory carry on, and stop doing the same stupid shit over and over again.